Okay, much better. Sorry, I was cleaning. So I had to fix this first before anything. Hello, Joshua. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're just waiting for the segment to kind of start. It's like 20 minutes in, so it's like it's taking its time. So I'm like trying to like configure this thing because my webcam. I gotta get a new webcam because this one I had this for so long. So yeah, I'm trying to like get everything kind of fixed here. Let me just bring this down here and make life so much easier. Alright, so we're just waiting. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are having a really great Thursday. It's nice and sunny here in South Florida, so I think it's a new game. I think it's a new game. I don't know. I mean, this game came out like when, like 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I could be lying, because there was some. I remember there was a year there was a lot of games came out like 2016. There was Horizon Zero Dawn. I think this was this, and there was like a couple of more games. I remember it was a really great year in 2016, and I bought all the games and tried to like post all these games on my channel. So I hopefully it's a new game. Judging by like the thing that they have on their live stream, it looks like a new game. It could be a new game. I don't know. I think it's a new game. I think of a DLC. I think we're like what, we're in year 3 right now. So I think it's year 4. I could be lying. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. I think it's a new game. I think it should be a new game. I think it's time for a new game for this. I think. Yeah, it's been out for a very long time. But the good thing about Wildlands, they kind of keep update with their game and stuff. So that's a good thing about their game. Like that's the reason why I always play um, Ghost Recon, a little bit of Destiny here and there. I like Ubisoft games in general because they tend to keep up to date with their gameplays and keep up to date with their games. And if I'm not mistaken, I came across in an article where the CEO stated that he wants a finished game. He wants to put out finished products for their consumers. So I do like that. I like that, that standpoint. Like, look, it's not about loot boxes and DLCs and all this bullshit. They want to have a finished game. So that's the reason why I like Ubisoft as a company, because they tend to really care about their game. My niece came home from school, so she's like ringing the doorbell right now. And if you hear that, that is my dog barking. Like, he's barking. So hopefully it is a new game. I really do think it's a new game. But we're 17 minutes in, so I thought, like, you know what, let me just talk to you guys for a minute and just let this shit count down, because it's 17 minutes in, so it's a long time until we get this stream kind of going. But hopefully everything kind of goes well, because I got a new, if you guys check this out, I got a new stream deck. So this really helps me out. So I'm kind of glad that I have this. Yeah, I didn't try the PvP part of this game, but people said the PvP is pretty good. I tried Rainbow Six PvP, and for some reason I like their PvPs better than Call of Duty. I went back to Call of Duty a couple of weeks ago. One of the worst mistakes I ever did in my entire life is going back to Call of Duty in this state and age. Like, it's just, no. Hate it. Hate this. Oh god, I went back last night to try out the new camo that everybody was talking about is better than the Dark Matter. So you had to get 9 kills, and oh my god, that was the worst experience I ever had in the game. So I'm just like, okay, so let me see if I can just show you guys real quick. Hold on a minute. Let me just switch in between here, because I got the mouse and the thing kind of going on here. So this is like this is what you're seeing right now. So basically it got like, it says White Razor and then Island Thunder, Jungle Storm Operation. Like, it's like different operations. Like, I feel like there's gonna be different operations in different countries. Now that would be really cool to like go like different parts of the country in this game. Like, you go here, Cage Tiger, Mexico City, So there's like, let me count this down. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So there's like 9 operations. So the thing says Operation Greenstone. And that's what the title of the live stream is called, Operation Greenstone. So hopefully, I don't know, it could be a DLC too. Nah, I think it's a new game. I think it's a new game because we need a new game. Just a good old tactical shooter. Yeah, that's what I like. Just basic, not all this extra bullshit in a shooter game. It's just basic stuff. It's just like simple crap. No other bullshit. That's what I like about this Ghost Recon. Just a simple operation, simple shooter game. Just basic stuff. So my family just got back home. They're keeping a lot of noise. So hopefully don't... Well, I'm going to turn off my mic during the live stream and my webcam so you guys can see everything. Let me just turn off this donation thing. This donation goal thing here. Let me just turn this off. Give you guys like a clean live stream. I'm going to turn off the webcam. I'm going to turn off my mic. And then get the live stream, get the live stream going here. Let me see if I can configure this thing. But for some reason, I don't know, like, I need to go back playing this game. I stopped for like a good couple of while. Stopped playing this game. I need to go back playing this damn game. I went back playing Destiny a couple of days ago. Went back playing Call of Duty. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back there. Do not want to go back to that state of anything. Perfect. All right. 13 minutes. So for me, it starts at 2:30. So that's my time that is going to get started on 2:30. Operation Greenstone. Let's see. Let's check out Twitter real quick. Let's check out what people are saying on Twitter. Hold on. Show you guys the... let me just set up Twitter real quick. See what people are saying. Get this thing started. Let's see. Hold on a minute to show you guys. Alright, so... the world premiere. So they just kind of like show us another like snippet trailer. World premiere. I think it's a new game because if this is world premiere type of stuff, I think it's a new game. I really do think so. Let me put my webcam right here. Perfect. Then you can definitely see me. Just gotta fix my hair because I see it's like a little messed up right there. Sorry. Say it, typical girl. It's like people say it's a huge announcement, so I feel like it is like a new game. I feel like it's a new game. I don't know why. Let me just bring my mic down just a little tab down. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on a minute. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? I think it's better if I do it this way. I'm always configuring something, always. Where's the thing at? Oh, there it is. Okay. I think I got it. Alright. I think I'm good. I think this is better because I can see. Oh, wait. Hold on. I hope you guys can see it. I'm trying to see. Yeah, you guys can see it. I think it's better for me this way because the webcam's here and I'm looking this way, so it's like kind of aggravating. Alright, so back to Twitter. Alright, everything's kind of good. Everything's kind of green. I'm kind of glad. Oh man, 9 minutes in. 9 minutes into this thing. I do believe it's a new game. That's what I believe. I don't know why, but I believe it's a new game. That's what I believe in. Some people say it's not a new game. I think it's a new game. I really do think so. I think it's a new game because judging by like some of the stuff that they kind of showcase and people were leaking things last night. I don't know why they were leaking stuff last night, but they were leaking stuff last night. I hate when people leak stuff. I tend to like just shut down Twitter and just go in a little dark space and a little dark hole because people are just, they're not fair. They're not nice when it comes to people's like hypeness and excitement of a game. They just literally basically have some leaks. They have some pictures of like certain things. But I went on to the Ubisoft website last night and they kind of like had like their, their big announcements and their reveals. And I went on there and it feels more like a futuristic tactical type of situation. They showcase like drones, this new technology thing that they were having. So I feel like it's not going to be too futuristic because I don't like futuristic games fitting into military style. I just like a basic military style feel. A lot of people saying, everybody's saying all different type of stuff. Like everybody's having their own feels of what this thing could be, and hopefully that it be something very important to the community. And the community is always so big on big reveals and stuff. They're so picky on big reveals. I do not know why, but they're always picky on big reveals. So hopefully that this will kind of like give us something that people in the community we actually like, and not something that people will be like, this is not what we wanted. Because like I tell you, communities are like the biggest pet peeve when it comes to games nowadays. Now this is like really off topic. I want to know what you guys think about the whole loot box situation. Loot boxes are not pretty much a senator. He introduced a bill saying that loot boxes are becoming gambling type of sources to people's lives. And yes, that is a true statement. I think some of these developers and these companies need to be regulated because they're not finishing the game. They're giving a half-ass game and put all the stuff that shouldn't been in the game, some sort of like tier system where we can play the game, rank up, and get those things that we want. They're putting them in loot boxes. That's the only time you ever see in game that really does that. Now the loot boxes on Ubisoft games, they're not as bad as like some games that I see, like Call of Duty. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Call of Duty is like one of the worst loot boxes system I ever came across in my entire life. People talk about Destiny and blah blah like that. Yeah, Destiny has their issues, but I'm like, Call of Duty is like one of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. A lot of people have been wondering what is going to be the effect when it comes to Fortnite. Fortnite's completely different if you kind of look at the whole loot box situation. So, because Fortnite is just basically, I don't know. Fortnite's completely different. There's people who actually just, spend their hard-earned money on those things, and they, in a way, Fortnite kind of using theirs in the right way. If you kind of look at it, they give you, like, here you go. Call of Duty is doing theirs completely wrong. They're putting all the shit in the loot boxes. You buy those and you have to pray to God that you're going to get something in those boxes. It's not automatically, boom, you buy this, you get all these luxury gifts and stuff. That's not how it works. Not for Call of Duty. So we're 5 minutes into the segment. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch over back into here because it's 2:25 right now. So we're going to switch over to here. And then I'm going to shut the hell up and then let you guys enjoy the live stream. I'm going to turn off the webcam, turn off my damn mic around like 2:28. I'm going to turn off my mic and just let you guys enjoy the stream. And then once the stream is over, we're going to come back over and then we're going to discuss what has been introduced, then do a separate video discussing this whole thing because I'm really, really excited what they're going to be showcasing for us very soon. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the future. I will be doing some Destiny live streams tomorrow. I will be helping people get the Outbreak Perfect Pulse Rifle. I need to get that before the time gated line, the time gate bullshit is over. So I wanted to get that done fast and quick so I can get that pulse rifle and do my own little review on it. And then, of course, do my, weapons guide for you guys on the channel. So it's 2:26, 4 minutes into the live stream. I cannot wait to see what the live stream have in store for us. I just can't wait. I'm going to get my headsets kind of going here. Hold on a minute. Get my headsets on. I can hear it, but you guys can hear it. I turn off the desktop audio, but that's going to be on once I kind of get everything kind of set. But I'm really looking forward for this game. There's some dates coming out. I don't know anytime soon, but I do like how some companies, like I said about Ubisoft's CEO when he was kind of stating in the article that he wants to give his consumers a finished product. It's not all about loot boxes all the time. And that's what this whole regulation is coming in. Some people kind of agree now that this need to be regulated. Like they're not giving us a finished product game. Republican, Democrat, or whatever he is, I'm glad that he put this bill in here because this shit is it's quite frankly, it's getting annoying. Other countries have did it. Definitely China. I know I think South Korea. I think most places like Japan and other places, I forgot, has put regulations onto those developers. Like, look, you're not giving these people a finished product game. These loot boxes are bullshit. And there are bullshit. Quite frankly, they're bullshit. I don't know why they put loot boxes in here. People's like, oh, now the games are going to be $100. I said they're $100 now, basically. So it's like, it is what it is. 2 minutes in, it's 2:28. 2 minutes into the time to alignment. So I guess they're aligning the. Oh, this is pretty cool. This I must say this reveal is pretty good. I would say Borderlands 3 had a really good reveal too. I didn't live stream that because I wasn't home at the time. I had to watch the live stream where I was going. So we're gonna stop talking once I start countdown. It's counting down pretty soon. So we're 1 minute in. I'm gonna turn off my mic. I'm gonna turn off my webcam. I'm gonna shut the hell up, and we're gonna get this started and get this going. And then we'll come back and we'll talk what they were saying about this whole situation here. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna have in this game. I really do. All right, it's 2:29. Well, my time is kind of running down fast anyways. So I'm not going to follow the time. But I'm going to shut the hell up. I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm going to turn off the webcam so you guys can enjoy the stream. And I'll see you guys later.
Welcome to Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, the franchise that pioneered the tactical genre. In 2001, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon defines the squad-based military shooter genre with realistic and challenging gameplay. As a powerful sequel, Ghost Recon 2 introduces a dynamic shift to third person and supports up to 16 players in enhanced multiplayer modes. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter improves the focus on team coordination and features actual military prototype equipment and weapons. 1 year later, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 delivers a deeply immersive campaign and multiplayer future war experience with the ability to command supporting units. In 2012, Ghost Recon Future Soldier makes a shift to exhilarating cover-based gameplay with the inclusion of the sync shot, gunsmith, and adaptive camouflage technology. And in 2017, Ghost Recon Wildlands leads a tactical shooter into a breathtaking open-world experience to explore either solo or up to 4-player co-op, as well as in a tactical 4v4 PvP mode in Ghost War. And now, the future of Ghost Recon.
Hey everyone, my name's Emil Dalbon. I'm a U.S. Army Green Beret. I've served with Special Forces for 14 years and have deployed all over the world. I'm also very proud to be a writer on a new Ghost Recon game. Being part of the Ubisoft team has been an incredible journey for me, and we are so excited to share with you, our community, an experience that is going to bring players closer to real special operations missions than ever before.
When we launched Ghost Recon Wildlands, we released an action-packed, open-world military shooter that can be played in solo and up to 4-player co-op from beginning to end. We were completely blown away by your response. We are so grateful to our community that has grown to more than 15 million players. It's an honor. The stakes are high. Today, we're super excited to introduce a brand new Ghost Recon game to you. So let's get to it.
Our story begins on a remote island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean called Aroa.
The mythical golem was imagined as an artificial intelligence designed to serve and protect. The myth is now a reality.
This self-driving vehicle crossed the entire United States without a human touching the wheel.
The computer was creative. It outsmarted me every step of the way.
Entrepreneur, visionary, genius. Jay Skell is planning to change the world.
This is our first deployment of lethal drones. They have already saved countless U.S. lives.
From our new headquarters on Aurora Archipelago, Skell Technology will, quite simply, build the future. Skell-Tech drones will enhance industries across the globe. They will eliminate food shortages, heal the sick, and in time, erase poverty.
Mr. Skell, critics claim that with new autonomous systems, we risk summoning the devil. What do you say to that?
We combine AI and machinery to serve humanity peacefully. I am personally dedicated to keeping that.
Scary. Machines that can act together and react faster than humans.
They're cheaper and more efficient than any other measure. There's no doubt that swarm surveillance systems will reduce crime on our streets.
Would Mr. Skell care to comment on the recent assassination of a political candidate by a lethal drone?
Mr. Skell has no comment at this time. autonomous weapons are being developed and deployed without oversight or limitations. They are the next global threat. The UN must vote to enact sanctions on the spread of these weapons. We must act now.
We've lost contact with Aroa. No way to reach Jake Skell. Yes, sir, I understand the risk level. We're sending them in.
The Ghosts are elite Spec Ops soldiers, the best of the best. But just how far can you push the Ghosts? How strong are they? How much can they take before they break?
A breakpoint is a forced posture change. Shift from attack to defend. From defend to withdraw. From recon to survive. It is the moment when a unit has lost its combat effectiveness. When it is no longer able to fight. The onset of this inability to carry out a mission constitutes a breakpoint.
This is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. In the past, the Ghosts had a plan. What if this time there was no briefing? What if this time the enemy expected them?
Let's start at the beginning of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Your call sign is Nomad, a ghost sent to Aurora. You have been sent there for what seems to be a usual mission. But this is far from what is about to happen.
From this point on, all of your military survival skills will be put to the test. As you make your way through this mysterious island, you will discover the majesty, the beauty and diversity of this brand new open world. From snowy peaks to sandy beaches, jungles, deserts, fjords, even a volcano. But you're not on a Aroa to sightsee. Nestled in a beautiful archipelago and driven by the singular vision of accomplished engineer Jake Skell, they develop AI and autonomous drones.
Skell's mission is to make the world a better place. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. In the wrong hands, Aurora could turn into the most dangerous place on Earth. And it does. On Aurora, you are no longer the hunter. You are the hunted. And even worse, the hunters are a unit of elite Spec Ops soldiers gone rogue. They have the same training as you, the same experience, and they call themselves the Wolves, and they have taken over the island.
The Wolves are the most formidable opponents the Ghosts have ever had to face. Not only have they taken over Aroa, they've also reprogrammed Skell's drones to become powerful killing machines.
You're lost behind enemy lines. And your enemy is powerful and merciless.
So, Ghosts, can you survive your breakpoint?
Ghost 1-1, this is Ghost Lead. I'm 2 mics at your location, but I got something bad's on my ass. Rally on me to eliminate the threat.
Copy, Ghost Lead. I'm en route to the RP. Time now. Take cover. There's an Asriel drone overhead.
Copy that. Got it.
Ghost Lead, this is Ghost 1-2. We're en route to your location.
Okay.
I got eyes on you, Ghost Lead.
Copy. I see you.
You got 3 bad guys closing from the rear.
Nothing to report. I'm gonna continue my search. Reconning for location.
You have hostile to my right.
Copy. On target.
Ghost Lead, we're set.
I'm bringing the fight to you. Be ready. Get set, guys! Good cover. Bravo team will set a diversion at the gate. Me and 1-1 will infill the camp through the rear.
Copy.
I got 2 armed hostiles here.
I got right.
3, 2, 1.
Push up.
Drones out. They're no wolves, but they got numbers. Bravo team, have eyes in your position.
Hostiles. That's an Alpha drone.
ever happens around here.
No target in sight. Set. I have the drone. Drone's out.
Ghost lead. We're set.
Let's move quick and quiet.
Where the hell are they? These guys are dead. Alright, let's find these hostiles. Take point. Right behind you.
Bravo team. You have hostiles inbound your location. What the fuck is that?
Stop in their tracks!
Hold in place. We're almost there.
What the hell are you doing? I don't want to talk to them. Why are they doing this? Get them, goddammit! Hey, you! Eat this!
He's hit. I got you.
I'm pushing forward! I have you covered.
Hostile down. Time to go.
Shit.
Everything you saw in this walkthrough was made possible thanks to one thing: experience. 7 years ago, we started Wildlands with a team of 30. We now have more than 1,000 developers focused on Ghost Recon. In the past 2 years alone, we've released 19 title updates. Breakpoint is bigger and better than anything we've done before.
This new game puts you in the boots of an elite special operations soldier. And on Aroa, you'll need every bit of your training and experience to survive.
The terrain has a real impact on your gameplay. It can be your enemy or your ally. You'll have to cross bodies of water and climb. Slopes will make you slide and tumble.
But you'll have the agility and new skills. With the prone camo feature, you can truly blend into your environment, using your surroundings to escape or surprise your enemies.
And to make the experience more immersive and intense, players can also suffer serious injuries. And depending on the gravity of the wound, players will need to adapt. Can they still aim their rifle? Can they run and escape?
Fortunately, you will also be able to heal yourself, either on the spot or in the brand new bivouac. The bivouac feature will allow players to rest and refit in the wilderness with their squad and do what real special operations soldiers do.
You'll have a wide variety of tools at your disposal. You'll be able to cut through fences, unlock a drone that will allow you to sink-shot several targets, even in solo, or use a rocket launcher to take down enemies.
But survival isn't only about fighting. It's also about stealth. You can pick up and hide the body of an enemy to remain undetected, or move your fellow wounded ghosts to safety.
Finally, you'll be able to play as multiple classes, and will be able to change class at any time from the bivouac. 4 different classes will be available at launch, with more to come.
The thinking behind many of these gameplay mechanics came from you, our community. Let's hear about how Ghost Recon Breakpoint has been inspired by your feedback.
You have been our secret weapon in taking Ghost Recon to a whole new level. First, Ghost Recon Breakpoint will feature a new main story with hundreds of cutscenes, dialogue choices, and more characters for you to discover.
The variety of enemies you'll face will keep things interesting, to say the least. There are many enemy archetypes with different abilities and weapons, and they're dangerous, like this armored behemoth that'll take strength and precision to take down.
Enemy behavior has also evolved. If you get spotted, or if they become suspicious, your enemies will now coordinate together to take you on.
Enemies will now always be on patrol throughout the world. A constant reminder that in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you're the prey.
And to take them on, you'll now have fan favorites and all new weapons at your disposal.
The gunsmith will give you access to a ton of different attachments that'll have a lot more impact on weapon statistics and performance.
And you'll have even more options for character customization. And yes, this does include bloused boots.
You'll be able to explore Aroa on-road and off, by air and by sea.
And there'll be more military vehicles to traverse this new world.
Want to go fast? Take a Falcon. Want to plow through the jungle? Take a Fat Boy. Want to fight the wolves? Try a Locust.
Of course, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is fully playable in solo and up to 4-player co-op. And we are happy to announce that PvP will be available at launch for all players. But that's not all. You'll keep the same character throughout your whole experience in Breakpoint. This means you keep the same customization, the same skills, the same weapons, the same progression across the entire game. And this is just the beginning. Every 4 months after launch, we'll release a new major expansion episode to the game. It'll include the very first raid in a Ghost Recon game. Here's a taste of what's to come.
lot of people put tons of passion into the making of this game.
But we could not have done it without you, our community.
And so it is our pleasure to present to you our world premiere.
Our announced trailer for Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Soldier. Trained to strike my enemies before they know I exist. Death stalks me, but I survive. Overcoming any obstacle. Never surrendering. And with my brothers and sisters at my side, there is no fight we fear. So when you take the life of my brothers, when you provoke me, it doesn't matter how powerful you are, I will burn your world to the ground. I'm a ghost too. I would expect nothing less.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint is here, so strap on your boots because you have a mission. Stay tuned to hear more, live from our studio. We'll be there to answer your questions.
Welcome to the Ghost Recon Breakpoint announcement post-show live stream from the Paris studio. My name is Grace. I'm one of your community developers on Ghost Recon, and I am joined here by two of our fantastic developers. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and what you do on Ghost Recon?
Hello, I'm Matthew Tompkinson, and I'm Director of User Experience and Realization. So when we talk about user experience, I'm in charge of making sure that the game is easy to learn, even if it's hard to master. And for the realization part, it's more about the cinematic aspects of the game and making sure the full game feels cinematic.
I'm Joe Gingras. I'm part of the game design realization team. In a nutshell, we're sort of the visual partners of game design. We provide with the visual support that is then going to be able to convey the vision for the different game features. So concept art, storyboards, sometimes it's going to be schematics, video reference. And we're also in charge of the documentation or the reference material of authenticity. So we spend time with Spec Ops and essentially document what we're going to be discussing with them, whether we're going to bounce ideas or mimic scenarios, and then we're going to film them, photograph them, talk about equipment, tactics, and techniques. And in a nutshell, yeah, that's what we do.
So you make sure everything feels good, feels like the authentic Spec Ops experience.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, in the chat, if you guys are on the Ghost Recon Twitch chat, you can type your questions in. We'll do our best to get to as many as possible near the end of the stream. So make sure that you are active there. We will also have a giveaway. We will have copies of Ghost Recon Wildlands, but these ones are special because, oh boy, we have signed copies. These are signed by the man, the myth, the legend, John Bernthal, who plays Cole Walker, who you guys just saw. And it's also signed by the actor who plays Jay Skell and the male Nomad. So we'll have the giveaway towards the end of the stream, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And we will let you know when that is starting. So before we dive into some more topics in depth, why don't we do a quick recap of what we just saw in the video. We did see a lot, so I'll do my best to give a summary. Yes. So we saw there was a new mysterious open world in the archipelago of Aroa. There's going to be a new set of gameplay mechanics. We'll have stuff that really accentuates the military survival experience. We'll have fatigue and slopes, injuries, bivouac, terrain impact, prone camo. You'll be able to carry bodies now, which is very cool, and much more. As this Ghost Recon, you will be able to create and customize your ghosts. And also a very cool announcement is that you'll be able to keep its gear, skills, and weapons throughout your entire experience in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So throughout PvE and PvP, you will have shared progression, and the PvP is included at launch this time.
Yes.
Yay. And of course, you will also be able to customize your experience. So you'll be able to play co-op, you'll be able to play solo, and PvP at any difficulty. So we really want to make sure that this game is for everyone. We'll also have a full post-launch plan with a lot of surprises to come. We won't be able to get too much into it today, but rest assured we will have more information soon. And it will release on October 4th worldwide on PS4, Xbox, and PC. So, before we get into Breakpoint, I think this is a good time to talk about Ghost Recon Wildlands, since we just released a prologue mission for Ghost Recon Breakpoint for free for our players, and you will be able to see sort of how these games tie in together. And Matthew, I know it was very important for the team to sort of create this emotional and sort of gameplay journey that carries players over from one game to Breakpoint. Can you explain a little bit more about why that was important?
Yeah. So when we thought of the main antagonist for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we knew that we wanted the players to fight his brother in arms, a former ghost. And we felt that it wouldn't be enough just to like put it at the beginning of the story and you discover it. We really wanted the players to feel this moment of brotherhood with him, and that's why we introduced him in Oracle, so that you could play alongside him. And then, when you start the game of Breakpoint, you feel the betrayal even more. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that we also wanted a very smooth transition. We still have a huge number of players playing Wildlands, and we want them to have a gap from Wildlands to Breakpoint.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, after seeing that trailer at the very end of what we just saw, having played the prologue now, it makes it all that much more impactful and emotional. So if you guys have not played it yet, make sure that you go and do so. And speaking of, while you're doing that, we also have the Ghost Recon Rewards program. So just by playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, you will be able to earn some really cool rewards that will be available day one in Breakpoint. So you get some unique items and customization for playing through the campaign, like beating El Sueño, some based on our thematic Year 2 special operations, for playing Ghost War, and then for beating some of our endgame content like Ghost Mode. So not only will you get these exclusive items, but you will also be able to maybe hear some references to your exploits through some in-game dialogue in Breakpoint.
Yes.
So let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into Breakpoint. Let's talk about sort of the military survival behind enemy lines. You know, what tools are at your disposal, what resources you'll have, and how you can use these to your advantage. So we know our players love to have a lot of different options in how they approach the mission. You can run in guns blazing if you want to do that. You can crash through the front door, or you can try a little bit more of a stealthy approach. So I'd like to start with that one because I know it's definitely a favorite of our community. They like to be sneaky in how they approach the enemy camps. Can we talk a little bit more about the different features that we showed that will help elevate the stealth gameplay?
Yeah, let's talk about at least 3 of them.
Okay.
Well, we got the carry body that allows you to carry and pick up a body and carry it elsewhere. And so, for example, you could pick up an enemy that you've killed silently and bring him to a more hidden area and allowing you to continue your stealth streak undetected. You could also pick up a downed teammate and be the hero of the situation and bring him to safety, heal him, and then come back to fight. There's also the prone camo that we saw, very popular item, I should say, that allows you to blend in the environment. Part of the beginning of this idea was the image that we saw of the hero in the Predator movie covering himself with mud and then going undetected by the enemy. So we sat down with our spec up consultants and tried to come up with something that could be our version of that. So we essentially studied what the urban prone position could bring us, and then also covering ourselves with the terrain. And so in the end, in the game, you can cover yourself with sand, mud, snow, leaves, and so on, and essentially disappear to your enemy. And this is a feature that's available. It's a skill that you have from the beginning of the game that you can use at will, depending on the terrain where you're at. And it also helps you to either escape or surprise your enemies.
Sounds like you can set up some really cool scenarios there if you are able to plan enough.
Yeah, it's really cool to study your enemy in the shadows. And there's the third item, which would be the breaching kit.
Yay.
And the breaching kit, with that, finally the ghosts are not fenced off anymore. They can cut in and insert through defenses. And that also allows your co-op teammates to follow through with you in those enclosed
So I can
areas.
send you in to do the hard, dangerous work, and then I can follow through after once you've sort of cleared it up.
Yes.
Very good.
It's an unlockable item, so I mean, you have to have it to use it.
Well, I will count on you to unlock it for
I
me.
will be there for you, Grace.
Thank you. So let's say maybe you mess up your approach a little bit. Again, has never happened to me. I've never messed up once. Joe, I know, has some trouble sometimes. It's okay. It happens to most of us. And let's say that they're a little bit more prepared than you anticipated. We saw during the show that there was going to be some pretty cool changes to the enemies in Breakpoint and that the wolves aren't working alone. So we will reveal a few more over the summer, but we already talked about 3 of the main enemy archetypes during the announcement. Maybe we can touch on those 3 a little bit more?
Yeah. Well, working with the wolves, there are also the PMC, private military contractors, that have been hired to take care of the security through the island. And so what we saw, there are 3 different archetypes, new archetypes that we'd like to talk about today. So there's the rocket gunner. So his role in terms of gameplay is to challenge the player at long distance. It forces them to stay on the move with explosive attacks with cascade effects. So it could be similar to a sniper, that except that now it's not a bullet going at you, it's a rocket. So area of effect, it means that if you are behind a weak cover, you have to move and change your strategy on the fly. And the cool thing also is that their ammo backpack that you can see on the image is a weak point for it. So it's a cool thing to aim for. We also have the Breacher, and again the Breacher pushes the player to change his strategy. It's an archetype of an enemy that goes towards you and that tries to attack you at close distance, and is equipped with a shotgun, and he uses also flash grenades to suppress the player. So you can't let them get close. You have to react. Either shoot him first, or you have to move again.
Flash grenades plus shotgun sounds like a very deadly combination.
That can be
cocktail.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my favorite is the heavy. So it's really a heavy, it's a armored behemoth that you have to learn to fear. You have to aim for his head, because if you try to aim for his body, he's super protected, and you really have to be super precise about him. And the fact that he owns a minigun and that he can shoot at you, he controls totally the battlefield. And you have to wait until you have a key opportunity to shoot at him. Or you can also try and co-op. You can take the aggro on myself. I can try to flank him and shoot him while he's shooting at you, for example.
Well, thank you.
So you send Joe in to die, and then you sort of clean
That's
up the
usually our strategy when we play together with Joe.
I would love to see
Either
some
he
footage
stays
of
in
this.
the back or he goes at the sniper, or he goes at the front and to create
rest in
a
peace.
diversion. Yeah.
Your service is honored. So during the show, they mentioned that the enemies will start working together to take you down. Can you explain a little bit more about how that's going to work?
Yeah, well, we made the AI evolve to provide a better stealth experience. So if an enemy becomes suspicious, depending on the risk of the situation, either they will choose to stalk you at your last known position, or they might send out a radio call to call for reinforcement. And then you only have a very short time frame to eliminate the radio caller before things get very messy and you're overwhelmed with all the reinforcement. The other thing is that last known position is handled very more realistically than before. The enemies really need to investigate to know where you are. So let's say like we are in a situation where you attack them and they noticed you, you really will see all the enemies go towards you to try to attack you, and they will have to find your last known position, and myself I can try to flank them.
So it sounds like it might be a good opportunity to cover up with some mud and get into some prone camo, maybe set up a situation.
For you,
where
it can be a good solution.
Or even hide in the bushes, because this is what I really like. They don't magically know where you are. They have to find you in order to shoot you. So it's good.
So let's say that they do shoot you and you messed up and you do get hit.
It happens to you.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, frequently.
Too many times.
We saw in the presentation that there are going to be a lot of cool mechanics that kick in to really amp up that military survival experience. Can you explain a little bit more about how the wound tiers work?
Yes. Well, there's multiple tiers of wounds or injuries that you can get. And essentially, on the first tier, well, first of all, there's injuries and health damage. But let's talk about injuries first. So your first tier of injury gets your ghost limping occasionally, and he gets his stamina reduced. Second tier, your ghost limps heavily and starts bleeding, and the aiming is going to start to become really difficult. On the third tier, your ghost essentially stops running altogether and is stumbling and limping, and he's doing all that with only his handgun to protect himself.
So how do you heal up? How do you get your ghost back into fighting shape?
Well, you can pick up items in the game, and for example, injuries, well, you'll heal yourself through bandages, and for anything that has to do with health damages, you'll use the syringe.
So we know that ghosts can get hit, but they always have a way to fight back, and now we have a whole new set of CQC finishers, which I'm very excited about because they look badass and you feel so cool when you see that animation go off. So Joe, I know you worked a lot on those animations and making sure they felt real. Could you give us a little bit more detail on how that new system works?
Yes, well, we've worked with our Spec Op consultants as victims. They showed us how this worked.
This sounds very good.
Yes,
do you have footage of this?
Well, we have. I can show you later.
Thank you.
We won't show it now, but yeah, well, essentially, and they also are the ones that trained our stunt actors that then performed the CQCs. So the players get a slot where they can equip a melee weapon. So either at launch, a fixed blade or a karambit. And depending on which one you have equipped will trigger a different animation set.
Cool. So it sounds like with different animation sets, maybe there's some different sort of things that you can do to set up a different animation, so like depending on where your ghost is or what the environment is at that point. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Correct. Whether you're in stealth or in active combat, if you approach the target from the back or the front, or on slopes, or if you spring out of a bush or from prone camo, are all going to play different animation sets.
Cool. So, can you customize your melee weapon?
Yes, you can customize your melee weapon, and you will see it in those animations when the CQC finishers are playing. And you can customize it through different skins that are going to be available to put on either your fixed blade or karambit. And those customizations will allow you to fit it with your ghost attire.
So do you have a preference? You more of a fixed blade or a karambit sort of a person?
Personally, I'm more of a fixed blade guy. I'm more of a survival guy, so this is the one I go for.
Okay, cool. Matthew?
Myself, since I love cooking, I would love to have like a cooking knife. I'm more into knives than karambit, but I don't promise that it will be available in the game, the cooking knife.
Well, I like the party knife, which is what I call the karambit.
The party knife. Oh, well. What kind of parties do you throw?
Listen, I don't want to get into it right now. That's for the post show.
All right.
So we've talked a lot about who you're fighting against, but not who you're fighting with yet. Breakpoint will be fully playable in co-op up to 4 players. But what does the game look like for people who want to play it solo?
Well, we wanted to give the players the full possibility to choose how they want to play. So, of course, you can play up with a squad of 4 ghosts in total, but you can also play as a solo operative. And we wanted to give a feeling of lone wolf here. So that's really the idea. Here we don't have AI teammates. It's up to you. Either you just choose to play alone behind enemy lines, and you raise from the ashes and you fight your enemy, or you can play with your friends, with up to 3 friends.
So one of the features that I know was very well liked in Wildlands was the sync shot. Are they still going to be able to do that if they're playing solo?
That's one of my favorite things also, the sync shot, and we really wanted to keep it in the game, so we decided to make it even cooler. So as you've seen in the video, you can use some mini lethal drones that you deploy. You mark enemies, up to 3 enemies, and then you aim yourself, and you can shoot up to 4 targets at the same moment, and that's super cool.
Very cool. So what happens if you go down and you're playing solo?
Now you will have to rely on yourself. That's also the reason why we've introduced injuries, so you have warnings before you die, but then you don't have AI teammates to come and save you. If you want teammates to save you, they have to be human.
Okay, gotcha. So get some friends together.
Friends or suffer.
So we've spoken about how important it is to create this customized experience, and a huge part of that in Breakpoint are going to be the classes that are available in both PvE and PvP. So we will have 4 available at launch, but we went through 2 of them during the stream, the Sharpshooter and the Panther. Could you guys maybe explain a little bit more about those 2?
Yes, well, for all the sniper players out there, the Sharpshooter is the class to go for. It's skillful, deadly, and the Sharpshooter can load up to 3 bullets, special bullets, that deal extra damage to the enemies, and then he can also hold his breath longer, giving you more stability when you aim, and he's also faster on the reload of all the long-range weapons.
Cool. And the Panther, master of infiltration?
Absolutely. That's my favorite, playing as a Panther. So still, stealth is really still very important in the game, and you want to be able to infiltrate stealthily. And when you play the Panther, you can quickly engage at close range, and you can retreat back to stealth anytime you want. So it's really, you come out of the shadows and you go back to the shadows. And now the Panthers, they have a smoke bomb that if anything goes bad, they can use this smoke bomb to vanish, disappear, and become invisible from the enemies for a few seconds. And then it gives you an opportunity to counterattack or just disappear if you want.
Or run away!
Or run away if you're ready to go.
It's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So Panthers, I have to admit, they don't have access to loud or heavy weapons, but it compensates by they are harder to detect. They are faster to move. They have no damage reduction when they're using suppressors.
Very good.
So it really makes a difference when you want to play stealthy. Going for a Panther is the way to go.
So once you picked your class, are you locked in?
Not permanently. You can always switch classes to Bivouac.
So what this Bivouac you speak of? What else can you do at it?
Well, Bivouac is a safe place to rest and to prepare for battle. And when you speak with Spec Ops, I mean, one thing that comes up really quickly is the fact that the attack part of an operation is really a small proportion of what really happens or goes down through the whole operation. I mean, they'll talk to you about planning, walking, waiting, recon, more waiting, and then eventually attack. It's a very short portion. And so this Bivouac feature is something that really rings true to what Spec Ops are really going through in operations. You'll find those bivouacs spread across all the islands of Aurora, and you can either go and try to find them yourself, or you can come across characters in the game that will give you hints as to where they are and how to find them. But once you're at the bivouac, you can heal yourself, you can switch classes, and you can do many other things, you and, of course, your co-op teammates with you.
Yeah, there are different ideas that we wanted to come up with the bivouac, and we wanted a moment of respite for the players to be able to strategize, plan for the next attack. And as we said, we can choose the different classes for each of us. And it's not like we are having a class that we have to decide at the beginning of the game and then we have to stick with it. You still keep lots of progression for your character, and some of the progression is linked to your class. But if we were playing the three of us, we can decide to play 3 different classes according to what you want. So even if I'm usually playing a Panther and yourself also you're playing it, we can decide who could be a sharpshooter, or we could go being all the 3 of us Panthers. It's really up to the players to choose the combination they want to create.
Triple Panther.
Triple Panther. Yeah. Pink Panther. That fits you.
Triple Sniper.
Triple Sniper also.
I don't know. With even myself, God gave her grace. I don't know if Triple Sniper is going to work out too well for us, but I believe.
We have to try it.
Yes, we do. So all of this sounds like it can make for some pretty intense combat scenarios, and I know the dev team has taken a lot of care to really find a good balance between immersion with this military survival Spec Ops experience and also fun. So can you expand a little bit more on how we're making sure that that balance is felt in the game by the players?
It's true that with Breakpoint we are putting the mightiest enemies the Ghost has ever encountered. It's themselves, like the wolves were from a ghost. So the game can be very challenging. But at the same moment, and that's part of my job as a user experience director, I want the game to be accessible for everyone. Every player should be able to play. So we have still 4 levels of difficulties that allow you to choose what fits best for you. So if you want a hardcore challenge, and I know you like it,
Grace level. It's official.
Yeah,
we change it.
We might call it Grace level
do.
of difficulty.
Everyone will believe
State of Grace.
That's even better. So yeah, you can choose to have a very hardcore experience, and if you wanted to have something a bit more laid back with easier difficulty, it's still possible. And
the Joe Show.
Why not? We're coming up with good names here.
Good tribute.
But the good thing is that even if the 3 of us decide to play with 3 different difficulties or 4 different difficulties, it's still possible. We really want players to be able to play the way they want, and we don't want them to not be able to play all together.
So it really sounds like you can make this the experience that you want to have, no matter sort of like, listen, I've got a great amount of skill, but should I want to, relax and take something a little bit easier, then if I should want to, I could play it on an easier setting. Not that I would, though, because hardcore,
Honor.
Yeah.
Nobody will know, don't worry.
Thanks. So we've covered a lot of the military survival features that will be in Breakpoint, but let's move on to the story and the setting. So there have been some hints laid out in the last few updates of Ghost Recon Wildlands, especially in the most recent one with Operation Oracle. We've seen the name J. Skell and Skelltech thrown around. Who is he? Who is J. Skell, and what is his deal?
So what can I say about J. Skell without spoiling too much? He's a tech genius. If you've played Ghost Recon Wildlands, you've seen some hints about his inventions in actions. He's a really interesting figure because he's both brains, power, money, and he has enough to do incredible things. Like, if he wants to create the world of tomorrow, that's what he actually does. He just buys a full archipelago in the Pacific Ocean, and he puts all of his company's skills to develop what would be the world of tomorrow here, and bring all the families, all the facilities for them. And this character, at the same moment, has a sense of naivety and hope that I really like. The idea is that he wants to use this tech to help the world.
And I'm sure that ends very well.
How did you guess?
I watched the trailer, I did. So his tech is being used, perhaps by not the nicest people. So we've met Walker before in Operation Oracle, and now we're seeing him a little bit more differently than what we've seen before. Can we talk a little bit about him without spoiling too much?
Yeah. So if it wasn't clear, Cole D. Walker is an ex-Ghost. You've worked closely with him, and he's a very compelling character with lots of nuance. And what we wanted to do is to allow the players to spend time with him when he was on the other side, before we would have him as an antagonist. And we knew that John Bartle would be a great fit for him. We've seen his movies, we've seen his shows, we've seen how much of badass spec ops he can be, and we felt that it would be the perfect fit for the character. And the thing is that from what you will understand through Operation Oracle, where he's coming from, but he has crossed a line that you're not ready to accept. It's not like it's all black and white and he's like super evil. He has a very different stance on the situation than you do. And he makes you his target, and you're going to make him your target, and it's going to hurt. And I can tell you just that he's willing to do whatever it takes to keep his hold on Orowa.
Yeah, he's after watching the trailer now and having played Operation Oracle, it's really hits a little bit closer to home. So if you guys again haven't played it, it will add some context to what happened in the trailer. But since we can't talk about it too much, when can the community expect to hear a little bit more about Walker and his wolves?
So, of course, when you'll play the game, you'll get to learn much more, but we might come with a bit more details at E3.
E3, okay. You guys heard it here. Ubisoft conference.
June 10th.
June 10th, Monday. Tune in. So we've talked about the people, so let's talk a little bit more about the place. What we've seen so far of Aroa, it's this vast, beautiful landscape. It's got a lot of diversity. Joe, could you talk a little bit more about where Breakpoint is set?
Yes, so your archipelago, it's set in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it's this place where the most advanced architectural buildings meet with the wildest and most untamed nature. And to start off, the main island of Aroa itself is as big as the full map of wildlands at launch. So although Aroa is fictional, it's inspired by the real world references. And so the team wanted to combine reality with a bit of fantastical. And so we used the actual inspiration of the Pacific Ocean islands with their dramatic terrain to create this extreme terrain that we're going to be exploring through the game.
We actually had lots of fun to create this fictional island, and we worked with consultants to imagine what would be the world of tomorrow. And the whole island has its own logic. It's self-sustainable. Everything has a reason to be in the island. And I think that players will enjoy seeing how much details we've put in.
Yeah, the logic between the different elements and how everything comes together, the different operations that you have to do. It's really good.
And since it isn't necessarily a real place, though it is based on a lot of real-world references, we have the freedom to maybe play with it a little bit more, potentially, in the post-launch.
Gives us more flexibility to expand and grow in the post-launch, add islands and whatnot. Even as you were saying, if you look at the map at the beginning, you can kind of see a few hints of where that's going.
A few hints. So we saw a couple different sort of settings and biomes during the presentation. We saw snow, we saw jungle, we saw some lava. So how are players going to get around this massive world of Aroa?
Well, there's multiple selection of vehicles. The Ghosts can reach their objectives via either air, land, or sea. And there's going to be a greater variety of military vehicles now.
Very cool. So Aurora is where the PvE happens, but where does the PvP happen?
Well, actually, the PvP also happens in Aurora. So the places that you'll get to visit in PvE, there will be, for some of them, similar, or there will be the exact same ones as you get in PvP. It's two different game modes, but it will be the opportunity for you to visit it in both modes.
So that obviously comes into the shared progression that we announced between the PvE and PvP modes. Could you talk a little bit more about how that actually works?
Well, we are really about, we wanted the players to be able to play any way they want. So let's say you have a few hours and you have your friends that are available. You can play in co-op if you want. If you wanted to focus yourself on the game, either for progressing or investing in the storyline, you can play in solo, or you can play with one friend, two friends. It's really up to you. But if you feel like playing against other players, building your team, but really showing your skills. It's something that you might want at any time, but you could be afraid of like losing time compared to the progression that you're building during PvE. Or if you spend time in the PvE, you might consider, okay, but I want to be fast and I want to be the first on PvP. So that's the reason why we decided to go for shared progression. All your customization will be available in both modes. So the way all your gear, all your weapons, the skills that you unlock, all of that will be available for both.
So when can the community expect to hear a little bit more about PvP?
So what's great is that the PvP will be this time at launch.
Yay, we did it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you'll be able to learn more about PvP at Gamescom.
August.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have more about PvP in August at Gamescom. So we've talked about sort of the launch of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but I think we should touch a little bit more on the post-launch aspect of it. There will be obviously a raid, which is very cool, so that's something entirely new to Ghost Recon. We will have a year one for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which will contain 3 episodes, and there will be, oh yeah, we got the roadmap on there, so you can see, generally speaking, when they're going to be released. Episode 1 will start right at launch, and we can't share too many details about that right now, but one of the things we really understood from our community is that you guys want a lot of content to engage with frequently. And so we very much have that on top of mind, that we want to give our players something fresh, something exciting to engage with all throughout year one. So we aim to start strong and keep content updated regularly. So active volcano, raid, lava.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Can we maybe tease a little bit?
Well, as you said, during episode 1, we'll release our first raid for Ghost Recon. So it's a big thing for us, and we wanted to make the best raid possible. We wanted to give the players a reason to build their characters for their ultimate challenge. And since we're in the Pacific Ocean, we felt like it was the occasion to do the best, the more dramatic landscape possible. An active volcano.
I don't think there's anything more dramatic than an active volcano.
All the team was so excited to be able to develop this. And not only it will be a very, I would say, a new environment, but also a very threatening environment. But it will be also the place where you will meet the highest technology from scale technology. So prepare yourself to meet the biggest threats and to have big surprises when you land there.
Uh-oh. Sounds like it's going to be very tough. You need extremely talented ghosts.
Absolutely.
We've got 3 right here.
Come with trained friends.
Yep.
But that's really the idea, since we're focusing a lot on the possibilities to develop your character. It gives you a reason to play more and more and get the best gear, the best elements possible to meet your final destination.
Take on the ultimate challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Nature itself.
The teasing you get just from being in the map and looking at this huge cloud of ashes with this storm happening in there. It's
You want to go there.
Yeah, first thing you want to do.
All right, well, I think we covered most of the topics that we had set to discuss in depth. We'll go over some questions. Well, but first, we're going to do the giveaway. So, as a reminder, we've got 3 copies of the Xbox signed and 3 copies of PS4. Again, these are signed by John Bernthal. So, in the chat, if you type #GhostRecon, you will be entered in. It'll be first come, first served for these. So, if all 3 of the Xbox are gone, then you'll take a PS4. Or, I mean, the value here, I think, is that Mr. Bernthal has indeed touched and signed these at some point in his life, so worth it. So while you guys enter in that, we'll give it about 5 minutes or so. Let's answer some questions from the chat. So, number 1, Matt Radical is asking, is there a Battle Royale?
So right now, no. The full team is dedicated to shipping Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So there are no plans for Battle Royale at the moment. We'll see how the game evolves post-launch.
Cool. So I'm going to butcher everybody's Twitch name. I'm really sorry. By Ariasu. So in the end, can we confirm AI teammates or not?
So no AI teammates, if it wasn't clear, at launch on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So the idea is really a true lone wolf experience in solo, or up to a full squad in co-op.
So you can be that solo operative, sort of taking on Walker by yourself behind enemy lines. Cool.
Painful, but possible.
So by Bloodshank, which is an interesting name, how in-depth is the character and outfit customization?
Well, we will communicate a little bit more about the character customization later in the campaign, but if you liked what you had in Wildlands, you'll like what you'll have in Breakpoint, even more. Male, female, and we made sure they include all the biggest community requests, including blouse boots.
I don't know, I saw the chat go wild. I feel like there were people who are just sort of tuning in. They're like, what is that? And then the community is just going wild. You can blouse your boots. Yay. So Insanity Brick is asking, will there be franchise crossovers like in Wildlands?
I'm not sure we're communicating on this right now. Maybe when we're closer to launch.
The red dot lowers.
Yeah, I see my boss right here that is ready to kill me if I say.
He keeps doing this. I don't know what that means.
No, but we have some pretty exciting ideas, so finger crossed.
Fingers crossed. So Experiment 621 is asking, can you play the raid in solo?
No, the raid will be 4-player co-op. It's like the toughest challenge. You have to build your team with you. Choose the best friends of yours to do so. And even we wanted, it's a challenge that has been built so that we really maximize as much as possible all your cooperative skills. So you will really have to organize yourself, think through, and also prepare to improvise, if that's a thing, to prepare to improvise. But make sure that you know how to do your job on each side. So it's really like 4-player co-op experience.
Communication is going to be very important.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
Maybe hold some tryouts before. See which of your friends you like under stress.
Before the raid.
Yeah.
And then we've got from Masterminded, is the game third-person shooter or first-person shooter?
Well, Breakpoint builds on the great foundation of Wildlands, so it's a TPS when iron sights or when shooting, but and players can choose if they want to shoot first or third person. Personally, I like to go third person. I like to go TPS.
Even when you're sniping?
Except when I'm sniping.
Sniper headshot god Joe? You? Really?
Yeah, when I'm just going around, you know, all around shooting, go TPS.
Hiding in the mud. So FGM_Guy Smiley is asking, will PvP be 4v4?
So yes, PvP will be available at launch, and it will be 4v4 players indeed. And as I said earlier, we'll communicate a bit more on the PvP at Gamescom.
August. You guys will get more details on PvP. So, Swift you do, and I guess a lot of other people are asking, is this game an RPG? Are enemies bullet sponges?
So, I would say that Breakpoint is more a military shooter. So, when you shoot an enemy in the head, it will die.
Threatening.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you hit the heavy in the head as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You need to practice that aim. So I think that's all the time for questions that we have. And before we head out, let's quickly sort of jump into what's the summer going to look like for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We hope that you're eager for more information, and we are definitely excited to share more when we get closer to launch. So as we've said during the show, our next major communication will be at E3, so make sure you tune into the Ubisoft conference on Monday, June 10th for some more reveals. Again, we said Walker and the Wolves might make an appearance. Again, you can play the mission in Ghost Recon Wildlands, Operation Oracle, so you can play the prologue to the game before it comes out, which is very cool. And you can also earn some rewards while you're playing it for day one in Breakpoint. I think that's it. So
Winning.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on the stream. Special thank you to Matthew and Joe for giving us some details and taking a break from developing the game to come speak with us and speak with the community. For the latest news on Ghost Recon Breakpoint, make sure you follow us at Ghost Recon on Twitter, and you can also join in the discussion on the official Ubisoft forums. So don't forget that Ghost Recon Breakpoint will be released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 4th. We will see you soon. Ghosts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over and out.
Over and out.
An elite soldier. Trained to strike my enemies before they know I exist. Death stalks me, but I survive. Overcoming any obstacle. Never surrendering. And with my brothers and sisters at my side, there is no fight we fear. So when you take the life of my brothers, when you provoke me, it doesn't matter how powerful you are, I will burn your world to the ground. too. I would expect nothing less.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I tell you the truth, I really did enjoy Ghost Recon Wildlands. That was a game that I really did enjoy in 2017. Oh, I lied. I thought it was 2016. It was 2017 when there was like back-to-back games that year. And I played Horizon Zero Dawn, played the hell out of that game too. And a friend told me to get Ghost Recon Wildlands because, we test out Rainbow Six and whatever. We're like, okay, we'll just test it out. And ever since then, that was by far one of my favorite games that I really enjoyed. What do I see in this trailer? I see a lot of things that they did listen to the community. I do like when developers, try to listen to the community. I'm not saying that they 100% do, but they listen to the community a lot. And that's really good with Ubisoft. Ubisoft tends to... I give Ubisoft a chance when they listen to their community better than Call of Duty, than Activision, because Activision do not listen to their fucking community 0 to none. They don't listen to their community. They just put in a sense. I can't wait for this game. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see what the website has in store for us to see what's what the hell's going on. Let me just move this aside. Just how the hell you spell Ubisoft? We'll just wait and see what's gonna happen. So they just updated everything on the websites now. Okay, now we're seeing everything. You know me, I'm going all out for this game. I'm getting the collector's edition of this goddamn game. Kill me, hate me, I don't care. I love this game. Ghost Recon is like one of my favorite games that I really do enjoy. Ubisoft is one of my favorite developers that I really enjoy. They just give you content and stuff that you can really enjoy. So that's really good. Yeah, we're gonna have a separate video on today. We're gonna on my phone. Wait, what? Okay. We're gonna have a separate video today, kind of discussing everything about this and see how this goes. So it is what it is. I love the game. I don't care what anybody else is say. People said this is not the hype that they were looking for. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you gotta enjoy the game. If you don't enjoy the game, I don't know what you guys... I don't know. Anyways, you guys have no idea. You cannot satisfy anybody nowadays in 2019. They hate everything. I like it. That's y'all. Whatever. Comes out October 4th, 2019. We'll wait and see when Call of Duty comes out with Modern Warfare 4. I don't know. I can see it. Modern Warfare 4 coming out the same day, October 4th. I have a feeling. Modern Warfare 4 comes out October 4th. I see it. I for some apparent reason, I just see it in the future. I really do. I don't know why. Modern Warfare 4 comes out October 4th. Mark my word. Mark the date. Mark the damn date. It's going to come out October 4th. Mark my words. They're probably sitting at the thing probably right now like, what? Breaking Point comes out October 4th and then... damn. Anyways, I don't know. We'll wait and see. But I'm definitely getting the Wolves Collector Edition. As you can see, I do like collector's editions. I have God of War, Uncharted 4, and I have Street Fighter. So I'm definitely like to add to my collection. So I'm definitely getting that in my hands. Yeah, you pre-order, you get the beta access plus the Sentinel coat pack. The co-op, the coat pack. Anyways, you have, of course, with Ubisoft, you have the Standard Edition, the Gold Edition, the Ultimate Edition, and of course, the Collector's Edition. That's one thing I like about Ubisoft. They don't have, like, of course, the gold edition is always usually like the deluxe edition of most games, but they have the gold edition of their games. So I'm going past that and getting the collector's edition of the game. Some people are probably asking about what about Amazon. Let's see. We can always check Amazon. Oh yeah, we can check GameStop as we go on from there too. I gotta bypass the thing. Alright, so of course you got the game info and details. Become an elite special ops soldier. And of course they're talking about the story. The mapping is called Welcome to Aurora. The reason why they kind of did that, if you guys didn't remember, with Ghost Recon Wildlands, they had Bolivia. And of course, the Bolivia government was kind of highly upset about Ubisoft using their country and saying that they sell drugs and all this stuff. You want my honest opinion? Every goddamn country have drugs in them. It doesn't matter how clean and safe your country is. If you're North Korea, Russia, and China, okay, maybe I'll give you that pass. But every country has some sort of drugs in them. So don't act like your country don't have any drug deals in them. Trust me, you do. If we have drugs and Canada have drugs, every country has drugs. But they were highly upset that Ubisoft used their country as their fictional place, saying that there's drug lords and all this stuff down there and blah, blah, blah. Better be glad that, you got feature in the game and people didn't know about your country and they probably visit your country. But they weren't happy about that. So I guess Ubisoft like, know what? We're not going to take another country. We're just going to make a fictional place and take some of the demographics from different parts of the world. So that's why they had this fictional place, because of that situation that happened with Bolivia. Government weren't happy with Ubisoft as using their country as a drug cartel type of setting. The pre-order starts now. You can pre-order the game. You have 3-day early access with this. And then, of course, the Ultimate Edition, probably the same thing, too. Usually, when you're buying, like, the Gold Edition, the Ultimate Edition, you get, like, 3-day access to the game more better than the Standard Edition. Of course, the Standard Edition is retail at $59.99. The Gold Edition is probably, like, $99. And then the Ultimate Edition is probably like $129, and the Collector's Edition is probably like $200 probably. So that's usually the case with these games. They're usually like that. The one good thing about Ubisoft is that, they're going to give you a finished product. Yes, they're going to have some problems and some glitches in the game, but they're going to give you a finished product at the end of the day. I don't know if they got it up already. Like, the pre-order stance, probably not. Not yet, probably. No, I don't think so. But it kind of give you like a stance of what you can pre-order now. Let me see if they can allow you. It hasn't popped up on the website just yet. Probably later down the road, like later. Let's see if GameStop has anything. Yeah, GameStop has the stuff going, so they probably have the pricing. Okay, I told you it was like close to 99. Close. So how much is the collector's edition? It's probably like $200 for the collector's edition. And probably GameStop has their own edition too, because they want people to keep coming into their stores, if you guys notice. So basically the standard is $59, the Ultimate Edition is $129, and of course the Gold Edition is $109. So GameStop already has the prices already. The release date, you get 3-day early access with the Gold Edition, the Ultimate Edition, and the Collector's Edition. You get 3-day early access. So technically it's released on October 1st for those people who pre-order the ones of these editions here. The Standard Edition, which you see on your screen right now, is going to get released on October 4th. So, and then of course, only at GameStop, like I said, you get the GameStop exclusive Ultimate Edition Steelbook. I think that's pretty much everywhere, but they have their own little edition. And then, of course, the pre-order bonus for the Ghost Recon Breaking Point, you have the Sentinel pack. You get the Hammer M2K vehicle, and then you get a heavy outfit, and then you get the Valor Assault Rifle, as you can see. But subject tends to change after a while. This girl right here looks like a Viking every time I see her. Let's see what. Let's see. I don't feel like typing, so I'll just paste it in here. See what Amazon has. Amazon has it up already. Not too much editions, but they already have it up already. Of the Steelbook and blah blah blah. It's $59.99, and of course you get your, pre-order guaranteed. But like I said, we're gonna make a separate video of that, kind of detailing all the different editions and what you get of the editions in these games. But I will leave the links in the chat right now where you can kind of check out the the pre-order stuff on the Ubisoft's website. And then you guys can check that out for yourself. Like I said, we're going to do separate videos of, because I do like guided review videos of different editions of the games. People tend to like those and see and whatever. I tend to not to put my review stance on it because people don't like when I say, oh, you can buy this edition and buy this edition. People don't like that, so I just tend to just get to point A to point B, explain all the pricing and all the stuff that you get in those editions, and you can figure out yourself which one's best for you. So that's just me. Registration for the beta is on the website too, so I'm gonna leave that link in the chat so you guys can check that out too. So you can register for the beta. Where's my damn mouse? Like, what the hell? So you guys can check that out. So the top one is the where to buy, and the bottom one is basically the beta access registration. They will be at E3 on June 10th of 2019. So they will have a press conference. So that will be Monday, June 10th. They will be at E3. So make sure you guys check those out. And what you guys think? What you guys think about, if you saw the trailer and stuff like that, what you guys think about it? Let me just leave the trailer too for you guys. So if you're just coming in late, let me see if I can find the trailer. Yeah, this is the trailer right here. So on your own time, you can check that out and get your perspective on it. So you guys can check that out. That's the trailer link. So you guys can check it out. And then they have like the walkthrough gameplay of it too. Leave that for you guys too, so you guys can get your perspective on it. Okay, leave that for you guys so you guys can check that out. Because I know people who were joining in the stream, they kind of missed everything. So I'm gonna leave that for you guys so you guys can check that out on your own. And then yeah, we're just going from there. I feel like this, I mean, everybody has their opinions about the game. Some people said they weren't hype about it, but judging by all the changes that they had for the gameplay and all that stuff, I thought that they did listen to the community, because a lot of the community people were complaining about not cutting the fences. You always had to go around the fences. If you guys play Ghost Recon Wildlands and you see these big ass fences and you had to go all the way around the fence and try to figure out how to get inside, it's much easier. So you have like, you can cut the fence now. Melees, that was another thing that a lot of people has been going in the forums been talking about. You couldn't melee the person in front of you. You had to shoot the target down. A lot of people has been talking about that, taking down the enemies when you all that sight. There was a lot of things that people went into forums, and they went into the community forums of Ubisoft and said that they want to make these changes for the next Ghost, Recon game if they do make it, which they did. It's called Breaking Point. And a lot of people has been stated that, they wanted these changes in the game. And the developers during the stream said that, they listened to the community feedback and what they want to see in the next Ghost Recon. And they implement those inside the game. So they did listen to the community. There's some developers that do listen to the community. There's some that don't give a shit about the community. Call of Duty. So, you know, that's good for them to go into forums, read what people want, and, you know, make those changes for the next game. Some people say they're not hype about it. They don't like it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how I put it in a sense, it's 2019. It's kind of hard to pleasure people nowadays, if you want to put it in that sense. It's hard to pleasure people during sex. It's hard to pleasure people to make, you know, if you're making dinner for that person, they still criticize you for it. Me, I'm a gamer. I love any game. I like how they put at the bottom of the screen, it says alpha gameplay. Anthem didn't put that shit in their so-called trailer. They sold it to the Anthem kind of sold it the wrong way. Here, they point blank tell you this is an alpha gameplay. This is not the actual gameplay, but this is what you may see, and some changes might come in. It's kind of hard to explain in this situation because everybody has their opinions about different things. I'm a gamer. I like playing any game that, you know, that interests me. That's just me. That was me when I said, oh wow, I love Anthem. I was disappointed. I think a lot of you in the chat probably was disappointed with Anthem too. I was reading some of the chats from, you know, one of my good friends that I follow on YouTube. And then, you know, listen to the chat on the side of their live streams, and people are like, oh, I'm not hyped for this game. Oh, it's futuristic. It's not too futuristic like how it is, like, how do I put it in a sense? It's like you, the ultimate soldier that was built, born, bred. That's you. You're going against a special ops team that has to depend on technology, but can they survive? The only way for them to survive is basically technology. But you know how to survive. So I like how that aspect of the game is like it's who's going to have the better survival? The person with all the technology, all the gadgets, or the person that was well trained and know how to survive out here in these woods? So I like that type of standpoint. It's not so futuristic. People's like, oh, it's like a Star Wars game. No, Star Wars game is completely different. Stop comparing games to something that is not. I hate when people do that. Just like when people compare Destiny with Call of Duty in my chat or in the comment section when I'm like posting Destiny, you know, content videos. They're like, oh, I think it was like last year, like, oh, Black Ops 4 is gonna end Destiny. Till this day, Destiny is still being played. They just had like a big ass update on Tuesday, a surprise update for everybody. And Call of Duty had this update that half the community don't even like. So I'm just like, whatever. I don't know. I'm a gamer. I don't know what you guys feel. I like it. Anyways, we're going to do separate videos. I'm going to collect all the data that I need to give you guys the proper video to explain all the different additions for Call of Duty, Ghost Recon, Breaking Point. And I do have some couple of Call of Duty videos that I need to post. Of course, the new gameplay for the camo, the Nubula camo, that people are saying that it should have been Dark Matter. So if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Check out all the links in the chat that I left for you guys, because it's a new game. People thought it was a DLC, but no, it was a new game. I'm gonna end this stream. It's been a while since I've been streaming, so I'm gonna continue that here late going into the summertime, because hey, you know, gotta try something different. And hope I see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys think. I think it is pretty good. I like it. Like I said, I'm a gamer. I like anything that shows me something that, you know, the content is still consistent. The content will be still the content will be still be there. Let's just put this. I can't even talk right now. That's all you need. You need fresh content every couple of months, and that's why a lot of people like Ubisoft a lot. They always put out fresh content for the players, so that's good. For me personally, it is what it is. I mean, if you don't like it, that's up to you. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you at this point in time why you don't like, you know, the new game. That's up to you. That's not That's up to you to make that judgment. Like I said, check out the links, check out the trailer. You go on what you like, and we're just going from there. The game comes out October 4th of this year, 2019. And of course, they will be at the E3 conference on next month. They're going to be there June 10th. Don't know the time, but they said they're going to be there on June 10th at E3. So make sure you guys check out your local streams of the E3, because E3 is going to be streaming on YouTube and of course on Twitch. And I'm trying to get myself there to E3 too. I'm trying to see if I can get some tickets and some hotels. I want to go to E3 this year and, you know, check all those good things out. In the meantime, I will catch you guys in the next one. I will have some tons of videos later on tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully heading into the weekend we'll have tons of videos for you guys. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.